And tonight, one of our local senators says that there's more to the story and he wants answers. Joining us live tonight is U.S. Senator Bob Casey. Senator Casey, thank you for being here with us.
Hey, Royce, good to be with you. Thank you.
Yeah, so first question that we have for you, what made you want to get involved in this?
Well, this is so basic to people's lives. When you have formula that's designed to help infants to have enough to eat, to have nutritious food when they're developing, and to have young children have access to this formula, to have parents that are worried about the risk to that child because of a recall and because of the contamination at Abbott that led to this recall. And then also to be concerned about the shortage of formula, meaning that parents aren't able to feed their infants or their children that might have, say, complex medical issues with the food they need to survive. So I think any parent, I happen to be a grandparent, so I guess I'm bringing that personal experience to it, but we've got to make sure that we press both the Food and Drug Administration as well as Abbott to give us answers as to why this happened, what the extent of the recall will be in terms of the impact on families, and to make sure this never happens again at any manufacturer of infant formula.
Yeah, certainly one child being harmed is more than enough, one too many, but in this case there were several. Where were the missteps in the handling of these recalls?
Well, that's among the questions we've asked the FDA, and we haven't received an answer to our letter yet from the FDA, because they've got to tell us why, when you found out, allegedly, according to whistleblower reports, if you found out about this problem, why was there a delay between the information being transmitted to the FDA and the recall and the attention paid to this? So that's one of the many questions we're asking. But we've got to get answers from the FDA as well as Abbott, so this never happens again.
Sure, and of course, I don't know if you have this information, but in terms of Pennsylvanians being impacted, do you know if there are any Pennsylvanians, or if so, how many were impacted by this shortage, this recall rather?
Well, fortunately, the numbers overall are low in terms of the number of families directly affected that have some kind of a problem, or tragically in this case, that led to a number of deaths. That number has remained low, and we hope that continues. But we've heard from parents throughout Pennsylvania that are concerned about this, even if it doesn't directly affect their family in this instance. But we want to make sure that people have information. We have an 800 number that I know KDKA has. It's 800-881-0876. But we can, and you have it on the screen. I appreciate you doing that, because we want to make sure that families have as much information they need while this recall is in place.
Sure. In what cases should they use this phone number, by the way, to report something or to ask questions?
Really to ask questions, because some families are wanting to know where they can get, where they can have access to the formula, and what's the timeline in terms of when they'll be able to get more information about the recall. So that's one of the reasons why we want to make sure that this number is available to folks. I really appreciate KDKA not just investigating this, but also displaying the information.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to wrap up, but one last question for you before we go is, what can you do moving forward, and sort of what is your dedication to this, and what can you do to make sure that you do get those answers that you want?
Well, the good news is you have a number of several committees in the Senate that have this issue as part of their jurisdiction. I'm a member of the Health, Education, Labor, Pensions Committee. That's one of the committees, but there are several that have jurisdiction here. And there's concern about this in both parties, in both houses, as you know from your reporting. And we're going to keep pressing for answers, and also to do the oversight that's critical so this doesn't happen again.
Sure. We're out of time. Senator, thank you for joining us. We're going to keep a close watch on this right along with you.
Thanks very much, Royce.
Thank you.